A very warm welcome back to the channel. In today's aviation news, there's coverage on the Boeing 757, actual positive updates surrounding Boom Supersonic, and lastly, a new route launching. Condor has announced a new agreement that has been reached with Crestone Air Partners to purchase Boeing 757s from the airline. As part of the agreement, 11 aircraft, the Boeing 757-300s that were successfully acquired, are part of what is described as a significant milestone for the two aforementioned companies. The 11 aircraft were acquired subject to leasing agreements, with the airline being Condor, having operated the 757 for now a considerable period. However, it is moving away from the aging Boeing aircraft type and towards a new era of fleet. In 2024 and next year in 2025, these will both be two very important years for Condor. Why? Well, they'll be going through a bit of a fleet revamp as they say goodbye to their long-standing Boeing fleet, which has consisted through the years of types such as the 757 and the 767. Condor has already said goodbye to the Boeing 767, and per aerotelegraph.de, a very reputable news site, the 757 are slated to depart in 2025, as replacements from the next generation fleet do arrive through the doors of the German airline. The carrier says that the much more efficient A330neo has replaced the 767-300ERs, while the A320-1neo and A320neo will replace the 757s. This combination is seen as the best way to not only maximize capacity, but also efficiency for the long term. With several aircraft types on order from Airbus-produced planes, the transition towards the European manufacturer is certainly in full swing, and greater benefits are obviously seen, as this is the reason why the company has headed in this direction. Crestone Air Partners is a full-service assessment management platform, and they have a pretty diverse portfolio that really focuses in on the aviation industry. The portfolio doesn't just include aircraft that are leased to airlines globally, but also engines. You know, a plane can't fly without these, but in the case of Crestone, the diversification of their assets is seen as huge. The company really does focus on transactions that are in relation to assets in the last decade of their life cycle. Because of this focus, this is what the company will target when looking to secure new deals. The transaction that I'm speaking of with Condor is set to have been funded with equity from two key companies, with a joint venture signed in 2021. Let me move over to Boom Supersonic. They are an up-and-coming manufacturer, if you will, that wants to return supersonic travel to the aviation world. Pretty ambitious, and through the years there's been ups and downs, quiet periods and busy periods. But if you haven't had the opportunity to see, Boom actually completed the first flight of the XB-1 Demonstrator aircraft, also and probably more affectionately known as Baby Boom. The first flight of the XB-1 has been years in the making, and also follows several missed timeframes as the process drew on with complications and natural challenges. XB-1 is crucial in Boom Supersonic's efforts to bring back supersonic air travel with its upcoming Overture. Testing phase for this demonstrator will allow for essential results that will shape the project's future. Boom says that its chief test pilot, Bill Shoemaker, flew the XB-1, with a further test pilot flying a T-38 chase aircraft behind, which acted really as a critical monitoring device. The flight departed and landed safely, and it was a very important flight that followed a lengthy period of ground testing. As it passed these relevant tests, it was then allowed to get airborne. During the first flight, the XB-1 reached an altitude of 7,120 feet and achieved speeds of 238 knots, or 273 miles per hour. Generally, the team regarded it as a successful first flight. Boom noted that the XB-1 met all the test objectives, including key safety ones. Boom went on to say that the XB-1 will be very important in validating key technologies and innovations that the company has worked on for such a long period of time. This could include, but not be limited to, supersonic intakes, carbon fiber, and a whole lot more, including aerodynamics. However, there is obviously going to be criticisms, and some analysts have shared their thoughts. With the recent major overhaul in design to the Overture that saw it move from 3 engines to 4 and completely change how it looked, many people believe that just how much of the information collected from the XB-1 would still be useful. But according to Boom, it is still massively important. While there has been some pushback regarding interest in Overture, let alone if it will actually ever be delivered to airlines, the company did highlight the order book that is present, with 130 total orders and pre-orders that are present from American Airlines, United, and Japan, with also several Tier 1 suppliers also backing the project. Once built, the hope is that Overture can carry up to 80 passengers and fly at speeds of Mach 1.7. Boom is still saying that first delivery for this aircraft will occur by decade's end. It'll be utterly fascinating to see where the next few years take this manufacturer, but for all the criticisms that are present, and don't get me wrong, I've also been highly critical and also skeptical, for them to get this XB-1 finally in the skies is positive. Onto the final story. That's with Norse Atlantic Airways, who have announced plans to expand their route network, with service commencing from London Gatwick to Las Vegas in the United States. The first flight is scheduled to commence on the 12th of September 2024. Customers will be offered a thrice weekly service in a 2-class Boeing 787, this being a low-cost unit that offers a standard economy class and a premium economy cabin. They make a lot of their ticket money through the add-ons, such as baggage, meals, seating, and pretty much everything else, but that allows them to offer a price point that is cheap initially. Norse Atlantic also unveiled the flight number for the service, which is set to include the lucky number 7. It's really not been a lie that Las Vegas has seen a massive boom in tourism and marquee events in the recent years, and airlines have responded by launching flights or boosting existing services. The new route, which to confirm commences in September, targets business and leisure travelers. Norse believes that the connection between the two countries is going to enhance connectivity. Norse launched in 2022 after being founded in 2021, and since its conception, the airline has looked to serve several key markets around the world. However, this has ultimately also been a business model that has to a certain extent been difficult to maintain. While there will be very solid summers, the long winters have proved pretty tricky to navigate. Over the past 2 years, they've adjusted their route network to try and build for a more solid and sustainable future. This has included most recently flying to locations such as Bangkok and cities in the Caribbean during the colder months for Europe, hoping that the warm weather travel will be more enticing. Adding Las Vegas in time for the end of the summer is seen as an enhancement of its US network, and you can let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Thank you so much for your support here on the channel. It certainly does mean a lot. Please do take care and do also be safe. I will indeed see you same place, same time tomorrow for your latest industry developments. And we'll fly.